Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong, and I try to isolate an angle to the race that we might look back on later as having decided the issue. Well, Sunday racing this week at Sha Tin, and the first race we're going to look at is race 3, where our winning factor is the sectionals. Now, this is a very competitive class 4 here, over 1400 metres. Ezra, a chance, dropping back down in grade. August Moon has been in great form. Tuchel, one for the Chelsea fans, caught the eye at his second race start recently. Young Victory was a recent winner this course and distance, and Placlone draws well here after having plenty of excuses at his latest run. And I don't think it completely ends there either. There are a couple of others with fringe chances, so a wide open race. But the ones I want to concentrate most on are the two I think are the main players, and that's August Moon and Tuchel. And not only do they present great chances in this race, they present us with that age-old contest, the one constantly going on in racing, whether it's better to be on the horse on the speed or the one with the strength at the finish. So that's what we're looking at with August Moon and Tuchel. Well, they've both put in good performances at their recent runs, and first of all we're going to take a look at August Moon, and he won over 1200 metres at Sha Tin before his latest when he was runner-up over that same course and distance. And for this we're going to race 668, and he's in pink and green colours, gate 10, and August Moon, he jumps well here, but there are faster leaders drawn under him and wanting to run, so Derek Lung very wisely lets them go, but that move also means he has to come back into midfield to get a decent trip nearer the rail. Now those leaders, they did some work early, as you see on the heat map. They get tired in the straight, but the winner, Ace 1, has been able to sit a couple of lengths away from the front and dashes clear, while August Moon, from 3 lengths further back in the field, runs on as well, but he has just too much to do over the final stages. Now, Tuchel's only had 2 starts. He's had both of them over the 1200 metres at Happy Valley, but the latest one's certainly an eye-catching performance, and that's what we're going to take a look at now. And this is race 700. Now, he's in light blue colours, gate 11, and jockey Luke Curry has no options at all here but to go back early, and he ends up last rather than risking the horse racing wide. Now, although the pace is initially okay, we see on the heat map there the leader's slow mid-race, so Tuchel is not getting any help at all from the tempo. When the pace starts to lift again, Curry is hard at work on Tuchel to pick up, but you see the best part of his race is the last 100 metres here, where he really starts to hit his straps, running into a close 5th. And in so doing, Tuchel was the 8th fastest final 400 metres of the entire meeting that night. Not bad for an inexperienced horse, while the win of August Moon saw him 41st for the day in final 400 metres, and the replay that we saw where he ran into second, he was 17th fastest. So certainly a contrast in their finishing speeds there. Now, as I mentioned, these horses are going to offer us that age-old battle, the horse that goes forward versus the horse that goes back and is strong late. And often there are debates over which one you'd rather be on, but I'm going to show you a graphic now that really comes down one way. Now, this is the position in running of horses over the last few seasons in Hong Kong, and these are winners only. And the simplest answer to the question of which group does the better is it's the ones on the speed. Now, it might look sexy charging into the picture at the wire, but these stats show that horses racing in the first 5 positions win a much higher percentage of races in Hong Kong, at Sha Tin, and even over Sunday's distance of 1400 metres. Though I will say that when you look at those 1400 metre stats, it does seem to offer a little bit more hope for the horses running on from the back. Now, on the map, I think there's also not that much encouragement for Tuchel. You'll see here his lack of gate speed from gate 13 probably sees Joao Moreira having to drop him into the back half of the field again, while his main rivals are going to be in front of him, including the major danger August Moon. Now, I see him sitting just behind the leaders here, going to the front in the straight at some stage, and If that was the scenario and I thought the pace was going to be slow, certainly I would be going for August Moon with a winning factor of the map. However, the positive that we see in this setup here is that several horses will be looking for leading positions. I think we can expect a genuine tempo to give some assistance for a backmarker who has a turn of acceleration. So the tip in race 3, Tuchel, his winning factor, the sectionals. Now this is a competitive race, it's no pushover at all. And August Moon, well, he's the main danger and he gets the best of the map. But I think that what we saw from Tuchel over the final stages at Happy Valley, running those fast sectionals, is going to help him get out of trouble over this more suitable course and distance on Sunday. The other race I want to take a look at is race 7 on Sunday, and our winning factor here, the map. Now this is a good quality class 3. Most of these runners have won or placed at their latest run. And from the top, I'm sure there'll be fans for the 2 leaders in the race, Super Fortune and Rev Parisian. I'm sure Zach Purton's mount, Red Titan, will have some support. But for me, the main players are further down in the weights, the Frankie Law trained Adios and David Hall trained Victory Scholars. And that's where my focus in this preview is going to be. Now, first of all, we're going to take a look at Victory Scholars. And this is race 683, his latest performance. And he's getting beaten here in class 4. Now he's in red colours, gate 3, and Zach Purton gave him a copybook ride here from an inside gate, trailing the leaders in the box seat. But by the time we get to the final 400 metres, things start to go awry. Joe Moreira had been sitting on the outside of Victory Scholars all the way with Bundle of Charm, which gave him the first turn at going for home, and Purton had no option but to wait while Bundle of Charm did that. And then he got balanced up to give chase, but alas, the post came up too soon. Now that's just one of those things that happens when you draw inside. You don't get all the favours all the time. And I'm sure that Victory Scholars would have won that race had Purton been able to get going when he wanted to. Now Victory Scholars goes back up to class 3, but he gets a big weight drop as a result, and that gives him a great chance. Now meanwhile, Adios has made his Hong Kong debut at Happy Valley on May 25 over 1,000 metres. So we'll take a look at this performance, and this is race 701. He's from barrier 8, yellow and black stripes, and isn't the fastest away, and there's a decent pace on here. Karis Teton looks to get him settled off the speed and has to steady back a little, but he never quite gets in. He's caught 3 wide on a limb all the way, and exposed out there he races a little bit fresh, but I like how he applies himself in the final 400 metres here, despite a few things going wrong. It's the fastest part of the race, the final 400 metres, but he keeps on strongly for second behind a winner who had all favours in running. Now things look a little different on the map for Adios on Sunday. He draws in a race that looks to be run at least average tempo, maybe even a little faster. When we look at the map, Super Fortune, well, he's a regulation leader, and at the moment he still runs all his races at a little bit faster than average tempo. He's difficult to restrain, but he's been good enough to get away with a few races just the same. However, this time he has the other speed horse in the race, Rev Parisian, drawn immediately inside him. And I expect these two will have their own little race early, cutting across the field to the inside fence. Now, that's going to soften both of them up for something trailing the speed, and the horses in the best position for that will be Adios, Ace 1 and Victory Scholars. So my tip in race 7, Adios. His winning factor, the map. I think he did a very good job at his first Hong Kong start with a few things against him, and he's up to 1,200 metres, but I think he's going to get a much softer trip and be able to run that distance out. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Enjoy Sunday's racing. We'll see you next time.